Hey everyone, it's Victoria, and today I'm going to be doing another video on how to take aesthetic photos. So I've actually done 2 other videos related to this topic, and if you haven't yet watched those, then I recommend you watch those as well, because then you will get more info on taking aesthetic Instagram photos. And in all 3 videos, I recommend apps and different tips and tricks to editing photos. So if you watch all 3 of them, then your Instagram game will be on point. And also, since this video is partially related to Instagram, then you guys should definitely follow me on there, and my Instagram is Nikki_Victoria_. And yeah, so without further ado, let's get started. And the first thing I will be talking about is different tips and tricks to editing and taking your photos. So the first app relates to VSCO, and I know that many people use this app for editing their photos. So what you probably didn't know is that you can use any VSCO X filter that you want. So if you scroll to the right where all of the filters end, then at the end there will be like a VSCO X tab, and if you click on that, then you will see all of the filters that VSCO X provides. So if you click on any of the filters, then you could preview how they will look on your photo, and to get that like little banner out of the way that promotes VSCO X, then all you have to do is just go to the second tab of editing where you have like the saturation, the exposure, and all of that stuff, and then just click on any of those tabs to like pretend to adjust the exposure, and the banner will get out of the way. And that way you have like the whole photo with that filter, and then all you have to do is just screenshot the screen and later just crop out the top and bottom banners of the photo, and then you'll have the photo with that VSCO X filter, and you got it for free. And that is a hack that we don't want the VSCO company to find out. The next hack I got from a YouTuber named Ezzy, and she sometimes puts chapstick on her phone lens to get like this wiped out / blurred effect, and I think it works well with some like specific photos. So if you want to try that hack out, it's like really easy to do, and it's like pretty different from other people's photos. The next hack is to put objects close to the lens for like a different effect. So if you're out in nature, then you could use things like leaves or grass and just put it in front of the lens to make like a cool effect. Or you could also use things like a disc and put it in front of your lens to get like some cool light stuff happening in your photos. And I also know that some professional photographers use things like a prism that you could just order from Amazon, and then you could get some like cool effects on the model's face. The next hack is if you have a pop socket, which is this little thing, then you could use your pop socket with your phone case together as a stand for your phone for taking photos. And it's kind of like you're taking photos like this, but instead of your rear camera pointing downwards for when you have your phone standing and you want to take a photo, then all you have to do is take your phone out of the case and then position it so that the back is like the screen, and that way your rear camera will be pointing upwards, and you could just like stand there, pose, and take a photo of yourself with like a self timer. The next hack is for when you're taking a photo of something that's like positioned on a flat surface and you want your lens to be as close as possible to the surface, then all you have to do is just rotate your phone like this, and then the phone lens will be closer to the flat surface, and that way you could get closer to the object's bottom and to the flat surface as well. My next tip is for when you're taking a photo of someone or something and there's an obstacle in the background that's ruining the whole photo. And in that situation, all you have to do is position yourself or the object or the person that you're taking a photo of so that they're blocking the obstacle, and that way it won't ruin your photos, it won't be in the background. I want you to know that you shouldn't be afraid of using the iPhone's photo filters that come with the iPhone, because the iPhone actually has some pretty great photo filters that you can use for some of your photos to make them look even nicer than what you would get out of Instagram or VSCO filters. My next hack is for when you're taking a photo of a tall object like a building or a tree, and you probably haven't thought of this, but you could actually use panorama mode to capture the full height of a really tall object. So all you have to do is put your phone on panorama mode and then flip your phone horizontally like this. And while taking the panorama, I recommend putting your phone on a stabilized surface like a chair, so that in the end your panorama isn't all shaky. So starting from the bottom, you're just gonna go up and to the very tip of it, and that is how you capture the height of a really tall object using panorama mode. You should also take advantage of HDR mode on the iPhone, because this can actually make or break a photo sometimes. And basically what HDR mode does is fixes like the brightness and contrast levels on your photos automatically. So if you put your phone to auto HDR mode, then your iPhone will figure out if your photo needs like HDR mode to like fix it. Similar to the chapstick hack, you could actually put some drops of water on your phone lens and then get some really cool like light effects on the light reflections in your photo. So for example, I was taking a photo of like the water sparkling in the lake with like the sun reflection on it, and with drops of water on the lens you could get some like really cool effects with the light reflections. My next tip is for when you're taking a photo of something really small like a ladybug or something and you want to super zoom. So try to get as close to the object as you can and then also use the zoom tool, and that way you could get like a really cool super zoom on your photos. And my last tip is for when you're taking a photo of someone, you never want there to be a sharp object sticking out of their head, because that can honestly just ruin your photo and it does not look pretty. I've seen this mistake done so many times on Instagram, but some people really just don't think about that stuff, so just always make sure that there's not like a tree or a building sticking out of someone's head when you're taking a photo of them. And that brings us to the second half of this video, which is some apps that I would like to share with you today. So this first app is the only one out of the whole list of apps that costs money, and it only costs $1.40. It's called Kira Plus, and basically what this app does is has like this sparkly effects that you could use for videos or photos, and it finds basically whatever can sparkle and it like puts sparkles on that. And I think this works well for like if you're taking a photo of like a diamond bracelet or something, or if you simply have like the sun reflecting on the lake like I had. And the second app is a free version of Kira, and it's called Brillar. So it does like a very similar thing and puts sparkles on your photos and videos, but it's free, but it has a bit less like filter options for those sparkles. So like in Kira you could have like colorful sparkles, but in Brillar you could only have like 3 kinds of filter sparkles. And yeah, moving on to the next app that has nothing to do with sparkles. This app is called Color Tone, and I actually saw an ad for this on my Instagram and decided to download it and try it out. And it has some amazing tropical filters that you will probably not find like in VSCO or in Instagram filters. And it has some really great tropical filters, as I said, and it's also free. And it also has like paid filters, but I think that the free ones are enough. And the next app is called Photolab. So this is a bit different from like all the other apps, because this one is actually kind of like a mini creative like Photoshop app. So it's free and it requires Wi-Fi, but basically you use other people's photos that like they have effects on, and you could carry those Photoshop effects onto your photo. So it's a weird way of explaining it, but it's basically what it does. And I think that this app is best known for the Shawn Mendes album cover effect, the one with like the flowers. And a lot of people use that to like put their face instead of Shawn Mendes' face into that effect. And the last app that I'm going to recommend to you is Huji, and this is known for like the vintage camera app. So basically you could get the date of when you're taking the photo on the side of your photo, and it also gives you like a vintage effect. But the only bad thing is that you can't edit that effect into your past photos. So if you've already taken a photo in the past and you want that like number and vintage filtered effect on your past photo, then you can't get that on there. You can only get that effect while taking the photo on the app itself. But otherwise it's pretty great, because it's like you have a vintage camera inside of your phone, but it's only in an app. And yeah, that is it for the apps, the tricks, the tips. And I really hope you guys liked this video. And please give it a thumbs up and maybe comment down below what hack you'd like to share with everyone. And also, if you're not yet subscribed, then I would really like to get to 10K before 2018 ends. So if you guys can subscribe, then that would be amazing and I would really appreciate it. And don't forget to check out those 2 other videos that I made related to this topic. And yeah, that is all I have to say for this outro.
Yeah, that body's a blessing, girl. I ain't trying to pressure her. She messed with the temperature. I wrote the song, but I am the messenger. Through the metropolis, there is no stopping this. Flowers and kisses, yeah. I heard you like chocolate. light up the candles, tune up this channel. It's the ride of your life, girl.